Peace, family. Vie Darling, the Cosmic Queen, and your intergalactic interpreter. And I want to do a little spread called You versus Them. Because I'm picking up some really weird vibes right now. And all of the cards that I've been pulling are terrible. So I just want to find out if this situation is about them or if it's about us. Because if so, girl, I don't like this. So this is going to be us. This is going to be them. All right. And actually, let's get a card for the overall energy. Let's get a card for what's going on, and then what us versus them. All right. And look, what we're seeing here is the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like what I'm picking up, because I got 10 of Cups in the reverse, 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like whatever is happening is somebody is about to get karma, and there's nobody who's gonna help them. Nobody's gonna be able to help them, is what I'm picking up here. So for the overall energy, we get 6 of Cups. For what's happening, the High Priestess, the Hierophant in reverse, that's us versus them. Let's get one for what the results of this are going to be. Let's get this out of here because it's just really annoying me. Let's get one for what the results of this are going to be. So what I'm picking up here with this spread is that these people, the overall energy of this reading with the 6 of Cups in reverse is that these people have turned a lot of people against you. These people, whoever they are, have turned a lot of people against you using dark magic. It is a war between the light and the dark. They have attacked you so much using dark magic, using lies, manipulation, gossip, because they are intimidated by your light and they don't like you. So these are your enemies who have been trying to come up against you. I'm definitely picking up ex-friends, ex-employers. It could be a current employer, co-workers, just people who are jealous of you. And although I'm not really picking up a lot of energy around a romantic relationship or anything like that, I'm not really picking up that energy. And I'm seeing the number 144. These people, I'm not saying it can't be a romantic relationship. It could be. But you already probably know that these people are karmic. But yeah, these people saw that you were blessed and highly favored. You are probably a chosen one, earth angel, what have you. They saw that you were blessed and highly favored, and they wanted to attack you. They've been coming after you for a really long time sometimes. I do sense that there's family here as well. Let's get some characteristics of who these people are. I get some of them are very new to magic. They've never even done, they're really new to magic basically. They started trying out, this is only for some people. Take it as it applies, but for some of you, it's this person is brand new to magic and they got lucky the first times around. They may have had a lot of luck with manifestation and things like this. And so then they decided like that they felt that they were a master, and they went ahead and started like doing serious heavy magics. This person also felt that they were, because they see you as like, they see themselves as the ultimate. They see themselves as like the center of the universe, but also the biggest POS in the universe. They are like, they have some sort of privilege, and they might be considered on top of like society for some reason, you know? They have privilege above you, that much is for sure. But it's more of like, not a natural order per se, but it's like they only have privilege above you because like of social structures, or maybe they have rich parents or something like this, but they're not actually above you. That's the thing about this. With the Hierophant in reverse, I definitely feel like you have like, you may have experienced magic and or curse work, honestly. Because a lot of you have had multiple people acting against you. This is spiritual warfare, like I said. And so this is like, multiple people have been acting against you. And I get the sense that like you were not in your sovereignty with the Hierophant in reverse. You were not in your sovereignty, and this has made it like so that you were able to be in relationships with people like this. Your energy was low enough that like the integrity of your container, your energy, your vibe, what have you, your magnetic field, your 𝗪𝗶𝗱𝗄 field, it was really weak. I'm not taking any cards. I don't know why they're coming out. It was really weak because your subconscious was messed up, and that's what they had wanted, was to mess up your self-esteem, to mess up your sense of self, to make you think that you weren't who you say that you are, or that you know that you were. They wanted you to doubt God. They wanted you to be like so overwhelmed that you were just like completely fucked. And I feel like you might be somebody who like the social systems work against you. You may be of a disenfranchised identity in some way. I'm hearing like you could be someone who is not heterosexual or cisgendered. You might be somebody who is and I'm picking up like how like bigots and ignorant people will be like, I never agreed to be called cis. I'm not cis. We're not cisgender. Da, 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 da. And it's just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you even talking about right now? Like, it just means you're not trans. You identify with the gender that you were given, like assigned. You know what I mean? Like, what is there to be upset about? But they're just upset about anything. They just want to feel like they are being like terrorized. And the reality is that they know that they are actually being terrorized, but they don't want to admit who's actually terrorizing them. It's easier for them to punch down on people who like their privilege and proximity to like quote unquote normalcy is like, it's easier to punch down on people who have less privilege than them than to actually hold accountable the people who are actually exploiting and harming them. You know what I mean? And that's really what it is. So if you are a trans or queer person, you might not be. You might be just, you know, a cis woman. And like, it could just be that like, you know, in certain communities, they're just like, don't bother calling out misogyny because we have to stick together as a community. And that is just being divisive. When in reality, that's just a means of silencing those who have less power because you don't want to share your power. You know what I mean? Like, so basically painting oneself as the victim when you're actually not the victim, when they're actually not the victim, and you are actually like the person who is being victimized, you know, by their embodiment of these demonic shadow empire ideologies and behaviors. because these people are possessed. That is one thing that I really want to get clear. With the Six of Cups in reverse, what's really standing out to me is the darkness of the windows. Empty vessels. Nobody's home except like the demonic shadow entities that are infesting their body. That's all. And I feel like you may have been being watched by these entities through them. Like, these people may be serving as monitoring spirits. They're definitely vessels that are being mounted by unsacred entities, infernal entities that are, you know, working to harm you in whatever way. So if you're experiencing like a lot of unjust behavior, people are, you know, antagonizing you, maligning you, lying about you, stealing from you, because we did get the Seven of Swords. Those people are possessed. Powers and principalities are working through them. And that's all you really need to know that they're weak as fuck. If you are that weak that you can be like possessed to do something evil, even though you know better, like, you're weak as fuck, bro, period. And those of us who actually walk in integrity are so much stronger than those people that, like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no question, you know. But because of the way that you have been engaging, like the attacks that you've experienced from these powers and principalities, perhaps you like have inner child trauma and wounding. Like, perhaps you were like, you experienced SA, or you just like experienced, I mean, the demonic shadow empire, engaging with it as a structure is harmful and traumatizing anyway. But like, yeah, the way that people treated you, like perhaps you had alcoholic parents or like abusive parents, or if you were, I mean, if you're a chosen one, likely you may have been the black sheep of your family, the scapegoat of your family. And with that all being said, like, you may have internalized this, and like I saw a meme that was like, I learned recently that all of my personality is just one big trauma response. And that might be the case for you, where like you didn't know who you were. And I get this sense that like with Ten of Cups in the direct position and Four of Wands, I get the sense that like you've been on this journey. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. I get the sense that you've been on this journey to reclaim your sovereignty and like take back all of the power. Like, comment in the comment section, I take back all of my power and all of my energy. Comment in the comment section, claim this, I take back all of my power and all of my energy from anywhere that it has been given, or anywhere that it has gone, anywhere that it has been taken. I call it all back to me now, in all dimensions, densities, and directions. You need to pause and write that down, run it back and write that down. That's the declaration of sovereignty right there. And I have declarations of sovereignty on the community tab of my YouTube page. So, and we do say declarations of sovereignty usually when I do the energy work videos, so go ahead and look at those videos because those can be really helpful. But yeah, like, I feel like you've been in this process of taking back your sovereignty, and you know, the people who benefited from you being weak, you being outside of your power, those people are not liking it that you are taking your power back. And because when you were acting from your weakness, the devil inside of them wasn't really activated, but it still was, because they live from that aspect. But it was triggered and activated when you started taking back your power. When you started to see the world for what it was, and you started acting like, you started acting in your sovereignty, you started taking back your power, you started learning to love yourself, like supporting yourself emotionally, mentally, you know, all that good stuff. they started to get mad about that, and they started to act out and lash out in different ways, you know. Some of these people like may have always been intimidated by you, and they may have always like acted antagonistically towards you. I'm especially picking up an employer here. I feel some of these people are vampiric descendants. That means that they are descendants from a vampire lineage. You have been getting free. You have been getting free because you may have been in a hermit period, or you may have felt like you were stuck in a hanged man period, but this is giving you a lot of time to get clear on what is and what isn't, and to get clear on your experience, okay? You have been tapping into, you've been doing the shadow work essentially, and you've been tapping into higher consciousness, because when you do the shadow work, you go, as the deeper you go, the higher you can go. The higher you can go, the deeper you will go. So this is why it's important to have balance. If you don't have a strong foundation and center, that is why we need integrity, because we need to build upon a strong foundation and center, which is unconditional love and unconditional integrity. If you don't have that, then like, as far as you go up, and a lot of people, this is my problem with like mainstream manifestation community and law of attraction, people try to go so far up and like positive energy and ascending. And that's why like the bigger you are, the harder that you fall. The higher that you build your tower on a weak ass foundation, you haven't done any shadow work, you don't really know yourself, you are not in integrity, like that's a flimsy ass tower, and it is going to come crashing down, and it's going to hurt like hell, and you're going to fall deeper into pits of despair than you're going to be able to deal with. You know why? Because you never had a foundation to begin with. You didn't even have like, so let's say it's like negative 100 to 100, and 0 is the middle, right? Negative, so 0 is like where 1 is at maybe, and you need to build a really strong foundation at 0. And if you build a really strong foundation at 0, like that requires you, obviously building a foundation, like you have to dig out the ground and like lay the foundation and then build upwards. So this is to say, like if you might have been at 0 and you dug deeper to maybe like negative 10, and that's a really solid foundation that you built there doing that shadow work. And so think of it like the deeper the roots of the tree, the stronger the tree. When storms come, the tree is less likely to fly away, but a younger tree that does not have deep roots is going to get uprooted. So put the roots deep in the ground and you build up. But say you built up to 10, right? And you went back down. Let me actually draw what I'm seeing for you so that y'all can like have kind of a understanding of what I'm talking about. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 0. This is 10. Wait, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So say that you were starting, and I do want to use like a color. So say that you started at 0. Let's say, yeah, for the sake of this argument, you started at 0 and you went up to 10, and then you got to 10, but then you got knocked back down to negative 10. And so then you built another foundation at negative 10 by doing the shadow work. And then the next time you got up to 20, right? And it might look like you've only ever gotten to 20. it might look like you've taken, let's say, 4 years to get to 20. And it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, you can't even get to like 100 or whatever. But for the sake of this argument, let's say that this person also started at 0, right? And they just spent their whole time, you know, ignoring the shadow work, refusing to do it. One, they got to 10. They might stay at 10 because or they might go down to -10 when they get to 10, and they'll just stay at -10, some people. And that sucks for them, but it is what it is. Some people get to 10 and then they don't get knocked back down, or they do and they just ignore it, but it doesn't stop them from being able to move forward. Some of us, we have ancestors, angels, great gods, guides, and angels that like work in our lives, and they don't allow us to move forward without building a solid foundation. Other people, they have weak lineages and their forebears don't even have access to them, and they're just useless 𝗕𝗍 forebears basically, and they don't help them in this life because why would they? They don't feed them, they don't take care of them in the afterlife, you know, and also they have no spiritual knowledge. So basically the bloodline is just weak as fuck, right? These people, you know, they might be special. They might even have like special manifestation power. And so in these 4 years, they go up, you know, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40. But come time to pay the piper, and they drop all the way 1, 2, 3, 4. They drop all the way down to 40. They don't have any idea how to climb out of being at -40 because they've never been on those levels, because they refused to do the shadow work. Now, what I'm saying though, for whoever this is for, that is not even the case though. That's really not even the case, bro. What the case really is this. Let me get out a different pen so that I can make this nice and clear. I just have like pens all over because I'm constantly taking them out and putting them random places, which is not good. It is not good. It is not very helpful. But I'm trying to find these pens, but whatever. Okay. Lately, a lot of stuff has been going missing for me. Fairies taking my stuff. Okay, so really this is where it's at. For some of you, what it is at is that maybe because of generational curses, karma, whatever, or in this case, I feel like a lot of you, it's that, but some of you, a small portion of you, maybe even like 50% of you, you had curse work done to you. And that is not even including like the curse work, that the like mass curses, but specifically you had people do curse work to you. And so let's say that you actually started at -40, right? And this person, honestly, look at this. This is more wealth because the wealth is underground. It's not in the sky. The wealth is underground. Like spiritual knowledge is in the sky. Yeah, that's true. But like the wealth is in the ground. That's why Pluto is the god of wealth and the underworld, the underground. That's where oil is, water is, precious minerals. We've talked about this on this platform. But these people, like, they're starting up here, let's say. Let's say that they start at 40. Okay? But the thing is, they didn't get themselves to 40. They didn't get themselves to 40. Their forebears did. Either their parents or their grandparents or whatever, or they have social privilege, whatever, but they're at 40 and they don't know. They might know a little bit about how they got there, but they didn't do that themselves. You know what I mean? Just like you didn't do this yourself, but you still have to deal with that. You still have to break those curses. So what ends up happening is you have to work this hard just to get to 0. And so you do all of that shit. You do all of the work, the inner work, the shadow work, just to get to 0. And this person, they're able to just move forward up to 40. I mean, up to 80. But the thing is, like I said, they're going to have to pay the piper. Whereas you have already gone through all this stuff to get up here. And in fact, you know, you go up one, you might get knocked back down one. Oops, let me use orange. This may have taken you 8 years, in fact, to get to 0. That 0, I guess you could say, is like free of karma. And like above 0 are these like material manifest blessings, and under 0 are the blessings of the unseen that are only acquired through shadow work. Okay? This is Saturn's territory. And this is Jupiter's territory. More so, okay? And yeah, so you got up and you got to -30, then you got knocked back down and you got up, and maybe it took you 8 years just to get to 0, just to get to the 0 point of karma. But guess what? They've gotten up to 80 because of what they were built on in, like, say 4 years. But they ignored completely doing any of the shadow work. Meanwhile, they're racking up karmic debt. So what's gonna happen? I'll tell you what's gonna happen. When they fall, which they will, boom, 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 boom. Or excuse me, let's pretend that those ones aren't there. They fall down to -80. They don't even know how they got from 0. They barely know. They have some understanding of how they got to 0 to 4, but usually these are the kinds of people, whoever this is about, this is the kind of person who, like, maybe very superficially acknowledges how they got from 0 to 40, but they're not actually, like, but they refuse to, like, really engage with the truth of how they got there, because they didn't have to do it, and it's easier for them to not pay attention to it because they don't want to give away their privilege, essentially. And I'm talking about the demonic shadow empire, the unsacred pillars of the colony. And I talk about that plenty, but I'm not going to get into that because explaining that in every video is a big reason why the videos end up being so long. I'm not going to get into it, but just know that, like, corruption, when you get things through corruption, it can never last. Like I said, to get to equilibrium, like, and free of karmic debt, you have to be acting in Christ consciousness, unconditional love and unconditional integrity. And with that foundation, everything that you build will be solid. But the thing with humans is we have to have our ass handed to us so that we can have humility, so that we can operate in unconditional love and unconditional truth, because otherwise, you know, a lot of the time we're just gonna act a fool, for real. You know, we might be petty, we might like be sneaky, you know, any way to get our needs met, because you know, that's part of human nature. I've talked about this before. That's why babies cry or pretend to cry, because they know that somebody will pay attention and fulfill their needs if they pretend to cry. They know that being annoying is gonna like get their needs met. They figure that out immediately. Oh, if I do this, then I will get the nipple, you know? A lot of little kids can be very manipulative, especially if they grow up in a broken home where they're with one house and the other house, one parent and the other parent. The parents aren't together. Those kinds of kids become extremely wily because they have to survive. This is kind of like what I was oh, the left-hand path. Yeah, go and subscribe to the mysteries tier of my newsletter, the channel on Substack, because actually I was getting stuck with that, and that's why I made this reading. But this relates to something that I made for the last newsletter. It's $11.11 a month. There's a free 7-day trial. You can go through all of the previous newsletters in that time and see if it's something that you want to subscribe to. But this definitely has to do with the newsletter from the week of August 11th, 2024, when I was talking about the reason that the left-hand path exists. People, this is why gangs exist, exactly. This is why the mafia exists, because people had to do what they had to do in order to feed their families. Like, if you are experiencing oppression and it is like the matter between life and death and suffering and surviving, like, a lot of the time people will do what they have to do, you know? So I will say this much, like, I can really attest to this just given my background. Like, I do have privilege in my country because of corruption. And I admit that. And I hold myself accountable to what is mine. I'm not the one who did those things, but I benefit from those things, which means I need to use my privilege to help the people that my privilege comes at their expense. You know what I mean? And that's just true for anyone who's of privilege. But these people that we're talking about in this reading, the enemy side or the opposition, your ops, whatever, they refuse to admit to their privilege because they are selfish and lazy. And they're delusional. If they're in a position of power, like it could be a boss or a teacher or something like this, or like, I don't know, it could even be a parent, to be honest with you. But if they're in a position of power, they know that they didn't earn it, and they're very insecure about that. And you remind them of that because they see how hard you've worked and they know that you're more talented, and they're like, oh, like that person deserves so much more, but they're not getting it. And they know that the reason why is because all of the things that have been stacked against you that put you at a deficit to start with, right? They know that. This is a story for a lot of chosen ones, friends, okay? No matter what walk of life you come from, this is something that you need to take it as it applies. Unpack the invisible backpack. Each and every single person on this planet has some form of privilege that they use and leverage to get ahead, period. Even if you are dirt poor, you know, one of the most marginalized social identities. But if you're really, really good looking, that is a privilege. Or if you're really, really funny and people like you, that is also a privilege, okay? So these are things to just like consider where you can see that in your life. But if you don't, like, your shadow work is going to be that much harder, because the reality is, while this person was building up to 80 based off of 4, they were also racking up karmic debt. And they already had a lot of karmic debt. And the times that we're in right now, if you're watching this when I'm posting it, the times that we're in right now, we've gone through the looking glass. We've gone through the portal. So these are the times of judgment. These are the times of, like, I'm hearing apocalypse now, apocalyptic. This is the time of revelations. Like, all of the iniquity and all of the inequity is being leveled now. these towers are coming crashing down. And this person, like, they built a faulty ass tower. And that's why it came crashing down. And they thought maybe they would hit 0. No, baby, you hit -80. And you don't even know how to get up to 0. You don't know how to get up to 40. You barely know how to get up to 40, but you sure damn don't know how to get up to 0. And they're going to come crashing down. That's what I'm getting here. With this Ace of Wands in reverse, this person thinks that they're the Emperor. Look at how dour his face is. They think that they're the Emperor, but they're really not. While you've been doing the work to get free, the shadow work, you might be starting at 0, but it doesn't fucking matter because you're about to skyrocket up to 80. Because what happened with this Eight of Swords, you were bound. You were bound. A lot of the energy work that I do on this platform and for my clients, if you want to book a session with me, oracle healing session, go ahead and book. The link is in the description. If you need a discount, I do offer discounts for marginalized identities. Please feel free to email me and we can work that out. But I also offer readings and tarot readings, astrology readings, Akashic records. But the most comprehensive and best thing you can do for yourself in terms of services I offer is an oracle healing session. And I also offer packages. So that's like what some might call coaching. I call it self-sovereignty guidance and cosmic wellness guidance. And those are just a really great way to, 1, save money on multiple sessions, and 2, build out your practice with access to me to be a helping hand throughout. But so essentially, look at this person. So a lot of the work that I do is like unbinding people's wings. A lot of people have had their wings clipped and have had their wings like bound to their backs so they would not be able to fly. Air energy. Okay, they've had their wings bound so they wouldn't be able to fly. But when you get to 0, in this time, all of the wings, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Their wings are unbound. This is coming, that's over. It's the witchcraft that they did to you. And it may have also been through MKU programming and abuse. Especially if you have a lot of air energy, you may be a genius, actually. Genius, also you might be a jinn. Air elemental might be prevalent for you. All right, if you're an earth angel, this might really resonate. But these people, I feel some of you are also from like Lemurian bloodlines. And if you are, yeah. But anyway, basically these people, they're benefiting from that work. And a lot of them did that kind of work to you. Some of you, they are not on your level whatsoever. Some of them, and so even just being like, normally they get crashed down to 80, but like some of these people, they did really dark magic to you because they thought that they were better than you. Even though they were jealous of you, they just still thought they were better. And they wondered why they were jealous, because they don't face themselves. That's the thing. They refuse to face their reflection. This is the demonization of the feminine. They refuse to see their reflection. This is the balancing of the scales. This is justice. And so what happens is these people, for the magics that they did against you of all people, they're fallen. They've fallen beyond -100, and they are now of a fallen lineage. They brought their lineage down. They better never have kids, tell you that much. Let the bloodline end there, bitch. That's what I would say. Let the bloodline end with you, because now your lineage is fallen. That's fucked up. These people, like, some of your Hierophant in reverse, some of your problem was that you, like I said, the demonic shadow empire fucked up your subconscious, fucked up your conscious. Like I said, Hanged Man in the reverse. Five of Wands. They're not going to be able to touch you anymore. They're not even going to have any access to you, because what's happening is like, whatever's happening, you're getting back everything that you ever worked for. You were somebody who, like, even though you went from -40 or negative, like I said, you were maybe at -80. Now I said, so you were at, yeah, I did this a little bit wrong, I think. You may have been at -40 and you got up to -50 and then you went back down to -40. So let me, in fact, like, X out all of this. You were at -40, you went up to -30, then you went back down to -40, then you went up to -20, 30, and then 20, and then you went up, or you went up from negative that to negative, back down to -30, then you went up to -10 and back down to -20, then you went up to -0 and then back down to -10. Now you're at 0, but the whole time your consciousness was ascending. And also your power, I don't know how to write this down yet. That's going to clarify over time for me, and I will use this. I'll make a video about this. But the whole time your mind was ascending. Your consciousness was ascending. You were gaining in terms of power. I guess this is why there's length times width times depth. Because it's like, in terms of depth, you already started, you've always been deep because of the things that you went through. And just as deep, this is what I was saying initially, just as deep as you are, gives you access to higher consciousness. But it was your material circumstances that kept going back, throwing you backwards. And this was so that you could really learn these lessons and really dig your roots even deeper, is what I'm hearing. But the whole time, you were still building consciousness-wise. But in the 3D, it may have looked like you were just going here, or yeah, going here, going here, going here, going here. It may have looked like a slow progression in the 3D. Either way, you're timeline jumping, you're quantum leaping, and you are, like, because you have developed so much consciousness and your full power is being returned to you. So that's going to launch you so far ahead because your full power is being returned to you. The amount that you did, that you didn't, you know that you weren't getting what you deserved back, is what I'm picking up. You knew that you weren't getting what you deserved back, but now you're about to get everything that was taken from you. Write that in the comments. I claim everything that was taken from me. I reclaim it now. I call it back to me now. Okay? Everything that was taken from you is coming back to you. It's that money, honey. Everything that was taken is coming back. And you are about to, like, see your power. You couldn't see it before because there were agents working against you. You may have made contracts before you incarnated to allow certain things because it was what you needed to do for your mission. These idiots, they don't even know the gravity of what they did because they refused. They knew what you were in their heart of hearts, but they refused to believe it. You may have even told them what you were. Look at this. Like I said, 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands, like, come on, victorious. You're not battling with yourself anymore. You're not battling with yourself. You're not in karmic loops and lessons anymore because you learned the ultimate lesson and got that enlightenment. You have accessed your higher consciousness at this point. They are not going to be able to create shit. They're stuck. They're now the chickens, the hens have come home to roost. And they're going to have to deal with everything. Some of them sent demons after you, and those demons are now coming after them. They sent 𝗂𝗪 energies, entities, and expressions of existence after you, and now those energies are coming after them. Judgment has been called. You may have called judgment. 5 of Cups. It's all over. They're going to be so alone, cast out of their own home because of the things that they did. Okay? They made deals with dark entities, okay? They made deals with dark entities is what I'm picking up from this. With you possibly as a sacrifice. They wanted to sacrifice you because they were so jealous of your power. Knight of Pentacles in reverse again. They're not going to be able to move forward. You're going to understand why all of this had to happen to you. You're not going to have to work hard anymore. And even if people like are talking like the way that like people talk about celebrities on the internet, it's like, oh, like da 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 da. But like, look at somebody like, you know how people were like that Kendrick Lamar like stole tweets and put them in his songs about Drake, and it's just like, he doesn't comment on that shit. Like, that's what it's gonna be like, because you know that those people are just jealous. What they tried to do to you is happening to them. It didn't work. You, even if they did like kill you in the spirit realms or whatever, you have reincarnation power and you just came back to life. Like, you're not about to experience any more tower moments because you get this new consciousness because of all the work that you've been doing. In this equilibrium, you are being released, you are being renewed. It's no more fake shit. It's no more bullshit. It's no more challenges and tests coming to you in the form of people who are possessed. You are the master of your energy now. Okay, the Fool in reverse, you're the master of your energy. No more karmic lessons. They're getting what's coming to them. Everything that they took from you is being taken away from them. So of course, even the foundation, think of it. You know, like, if we took all the spoils of transatlantic slavery away from not just the United States, but also Western European countries, including Spain, Portugal, France, England, if we took all of the, and also Canada, because people forget about Canada. If we took all of the spoils of transatlantic slavery away from them, you wouldn't even believe the destitution that they would experience nationally and also in personal communities. I'm also seeing something coming up about like cults. This is like, this is a new beginning. This is like, they were fools is what Spirit is saying. God's saying they were fools to think that they could hurt my chosen one. Some of these were actually cults. Like, some of them were big ass cults. Like big, powerful cults. Some of you have not gotten the recognition you deserved because you were being hidden so that they would not be able to destroy you before you could come into your power and come onto the other side of the looking glass. This kid I used to know used to be like, oh yeah, the spirits told me that like B already knows about me. And I'm just like, I would not be proud or happy about that, because these people are demonic witches and stuff like that. So like, to me, these people are in shaitanic cults. And if they already know about you, that person actually was possessed. And they would just be like out of their mind sometimes. Not like they were acting like aggressive and like acting like manic and stuff, but like I would just like look at them. It would be like nobody was there. And they would just do dumbass shit, like mindless, brainless shit, as if they were like some sort of a small child. Like, You know what I mean? And there were a lot of things that had to do with that, but it was like, I feel like they had something that was like stealing their mental energy and their power. And like when they would be being preyed upon by these entities, I feel like they would be just like completely out to lunch, like dim as fuck. They were actually incredibly intelligent, but they were a fucking dimwit. Like shit. They did not have common sense at all. And then other times it would just be like, they would just be like completely not present. And it's because they were being preyed upon and having their energy siphoned. So they were like, oh, this famous person knows about me. That's what my spirits told me, but it's not a good thing. And I'm seeing this darkness here. It's not a good thing that that person knew about them, because they were probably like doing magic and witchcraft against them, to be honest with you. All that darkness that they've done there is coming home to roost, is what I'm hearing. Some of these people who were parts of these dark covens, some of these people are regular ass people who started a coven or joined a coven and had their coven mates, like just a regular ass, like fucking kitchen witch type shit, like TikTok witch type shit. No offense, no offense, but like honestly, that was a big part in 2018 when witchcraft started becoming popular. I was like, honestly, this is gonna be so bad, because a lot of people don't have respect for shit. And they're not going to treat magic with reverence and respect. And it's going to be a problem. These people, they were getting your picture off the internet and doing magic against you. Just doing like spells to make you gain weight, to make you have acne, like to make you depressed. They didn't tell their coven that that was what they were doing. And if they did, they made it seem like you were such an evil person and you deserved it. It might be a coven that they met online. They met some stupid little group on the internet, and now they're like friends or whatever with these people on the internet. And they would do magic together on like FaceTime. Now these people are dying. One by one, they're getting picked off. Like, you know, in that episode of Atlanta with the soldier boy, 𝗪𝗪𝗁𝗪𝗪𝗁, that's what they called it. And they were going around killing everybody who danced to the soldier boy, 𝗪𝗪𝗁𝗪𝗁 song on YouTube back in the when was that? That was like the early 2000s, like 2007. I remember that. 2007, 2008. That shit came out like 2006, 2007, 2008. And yeah, everybody was like super into it where I lived in Minnesota at the time, because there was a lot of people from Atlanta living there, and Soulja Boy is from Atlanta. But anyway, so they're going around getting picked off one by one. That's always how it is in these like kind of like Zodiac killer or like serial killer type shit. That's what it is. And these people are getting killed one by one. They're all being haunted. They're all getting like, they're all like going crazy. Like how Nancy goes crazy in the Craft. They're all like losing their mind. You know what I mean? But some of them, it's like, I don't remember if it was the first ring or the second ring, but in the ring, when the guy, he gets super into like watching the tapes and stuff like that, and he starts like losing his mind, and he's not sleeping or whatever, and then eventually the girl comes for him. Or like, I'm seeing it as if they're like tripping, like they are having a bad meth trip or like a bad LSD trip. They think they have bugs under their skin. They're trying to use scissors to get the shit out. Their family is worried as fuck about them, and they're like going through hell. I see some of these people are getting found out what they did. They're finding out that these people had like an altar built to harm you in their closet. They're seeing these people even did blood rituals, bro. These people even did blood magic. They're straight up going to, they're this is hell on earth, what they're experiencing. Fallen, and they're about to experience even more hell because you're up. Because I'm up right now, and you suck right now. What is that song? How about now? You didn't really fuck with me back then. How about now? Because I'm up right now, and you suck right now. Or you stuck right now. Oh, you thought you had it all figured out back then, but how about now? How about now? I don't remember how that song goes. This has been a minute since I heard this song, but if you're reading this, it's too late. Yeah, I never listened to that album, if I'm being honest. I don't listen to Drake at all anymore because I'm just disgusted by him, but I especially, I just don't listen. I haven't really listened in a long time. There were like a few and far between songs that I really liked that were a lot of fun, but since I found out the type of shit that he does with the trafficking and stuff, I don't like, or stoplighting, I don't fuck with him at all. But some of these cults and covens, some of you, they are like big celebrities and like people who have a lot of power who've been doing this kind of stuff. They might even be like smaller covens, but like they're secret societies and brotherhoods in your community. Like it might even just be like your mayor, the DA, like this type of shit. I'm seeing like Batman, Dark Knight Rises, I think it is. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Their children are going to suffer for this. Their children are suffering for this. They're gonna have to fight because they're fallen. Some of them were already from fallen lineages, and that's why they were on this type of shit. They're gonna be killed, honestly. Some of them. In a car accident is what I'm hearing. And their children are gonna have to suffer the consequences of what they did. So take it as it applies. That's really, I think, all I'm getting here. Look, bro, the way that I'm seeing this 3 of Pentacles, bro, it's sick. The thing is, though, your soul family, you come together in the light with your soul family, and you're so blessed and highly favored. See, so blessed and highly favored. You're about to be sitting pretty, 9 of Pentacles, living a soft-ass life. No more karmic lessons. Everything that was taken from you, you're triumphant, and they are not. They're not going to receive any help whatsoever, but you're getting everything back. Nobody in the spirit world is going to be able to help them. And in fact, I get the sense that like when they fall, they're going to fall hard, and they're going to like be prey for a lot of like energies. A lot of energies and entities are going to prey upon them. It's what they deserve, though. They shouldn't have done what they did. New beginnings. This is a brand new time. This is a brand new time. So I think that like all these cards were like not in the shot that I had here, but that's what it is. This is a brand new time. Brand new energy is coming in, and it's not going to be painful anymore. You're not going to have to work so hard. Everything is coming together, and you have a solid foundation that has been built. A solid foundation because you beat the devil. You beat the devil. Your highest form of consciousness, the highest light is finally downloading for you. You knew that there was more, and it's finally here. You're really not going to have to work hard anymore. It's like what they say, like, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. That's about to be you. So I love you all truly and deeply. If this was helpful, go ahead and, like, comment, subscribe, share with someone that you think would benefit from it. And yeah, book a session with me, book a reading with me. Go ahead, and I would definitely encourage you to subscribe to my newsletter, because there is exclusive content that gets there that does not come here. And yeah, that's it. I love you all truly and deeply. I'll see you on the flip side.